Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode, I guess, part two
Part deux
of the Game of the Year 2019 conversation here at Rocket Punch. We've got the full crew here, Will and Cam. Will, how are you?
I am much better than last time. I'm no longer sick. I'm not down with the sickness.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's that. Also, I believe this needs to be spelled out Part deux, like
Part
in
deux.
French, just in honor of the movie Hot Shots Part deux. I'm going to tell you now, if you've not seen it and you love old school slapstick comedy with a mix of, what's his name? He was the president in that movie.
Oh, God.
Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That
Man.
guy is hilarious.
What happened to him? Is he alive?
No, he's passed away.
I
He was old then.
Yeah, that's kind of... I'm sad now.
No, it's okay. We have Naked Gun 2.5. Like,
Because-
we've got all these stupid movies that he was in that we can enjoy. So don't be sad. Go enjoy the films.
Just go watch the movies.
Yeah, because he definitely left a legacy behind.
Most definitely. Okay. Well, good. Yeah, I know, like, I feel rested. For people, if you're watching this or listening to this, we're recording this ahead of time, so Christmas is done.
Yay!
We've gotten our... I've gotten more time to play games. I'm sure you have as well.
Yes, although, funny enough, I'm done with my list.
You did. You said you're done. I'm the slacker. I still want to play a couple more games because, especially the extra categories we have, I'm still like, what do I want to pick?
No, I hear you. The miscellaneous ones, I've got some funny stuff going on with that. Because there are some of those categories where I'm like, I don't care if it came out this year. This is my pick for this year.
Well, some of those are, if significant stuff happened to them this year, like I think best ongoing game is on that list. Yeah, the game may have come out before 2019, but maybe they had some good stuff this year. So,
or maybe it's just better than the other ongoing games.
I mean, that's true. That's all. This is also correct.
Man, oh man.
But guys, let's jump into it here. Of course, guys, if you don't know, this is the Rocket Punch Cast, where groups of friends from all around come to this table, talk about video games into microphones. This is part two of our Game of the Year 2019 conversation. If you are listening to this first and you haven't listened to part one, stop this now. Go listen to part one.
You're a fool of a took.
Yeah, and then come back and listen to part two. They're meant to be listened in order. We don't have to go through the regular Rocket Punch rigmarole, but of course, guys, always, if you want to listen to new episodes every Tuesday on your podcast service, you'll find us there. You can also watch us live as we record the show on twitch.tv/Rocket Punch Live every Sunday evening. There. And of course, Rocket Punch Go is the place you want to be to find out all of our content there. If you want to, if you're listening via audio, make sure you rate and review us on your service that you're listening us to. If you're watching via video, we would love it if you threw us your free Twitch Prime sub or subscribe to our channel. That always helps us out there. And teaser, no teaser, some changes might be coming that might benefit you very much if you are subscribed on our Twitch channel.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of the community, you can join us on our Discord channel here. We've got the link in the show notes at the bottom for people listening, and of course in video, you'll see it down in the show notes there.
If you happen to be watching this on Twitch, we'll be in chat, but you can also do !Discord to get the active link.
And of course, if you want to help go even further beyond, you can go over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Rocket Punch. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support the show. And always, as we always do, want to give a special shout out to our producers, people supporting us at our highest tier over on Patreon. Chuck O'Brien, Jossie Moore, Sam Sugg, Jeremy Moses, and Steven Sanders. Thank you guys so much for your continued support.
Yes, because of those like you, we can do cool things that we'll talk about in January.
Mm-hmm. But let's break down the rules again in case you forgot about it from part one. Game of the Year rules here for 2019. Doing things a little bit different here, but instead of 10 separate episodes broken out, we will have 4 main podcast episodes, part 1, 2, 3, and the finale. 3 categories we'll be putting into each episode. So part 1 had 3 categories, I believe. What do we have? Best presentation, best character.
I can do you one better. I have right here Best character, best presentation, and unexpected gem.
Okay, so that was part 1. What are we doing for part 2?
All right, part 2, we're going to be going over biggest impact, biggest fail, and best score of music. But guess which one's at the end?
Yeah, but we're putting biggest fail at the end because that's what everybody wants to listen to. So.
Yeah.
So each episode you'll have 3 categories. As we've talked about before, for each category we will have 2 runners-up and a winner. One of the big differences this year in a push to kind of unify the gaming landscape instead of us having a debate per se and arguing over which one is better, especially since I know we've both played.
We've played some of the same games this year, but we've also got very different tastes.
Exactly. So Will has his own list, and I have my own list that we'll be bouncing off.
One could say he's very Alliance, and I'm very Horde. He's very Goku, I'm Vegeta.
Man, that's weird. I wonder where you got that reference from.
I don't know.
Huh, that's weird. I guess only our video viewers will know. So.
Maybe. Beats me.
I don't know. But it of course, guys, we'll also have a Game of the Year 2019 page up on our website, so you guys can keep track of all the winners from not only the 10 main categories that we will have on our podcast feed here, but also the other categories, I think 15 or so, that will be exclusive to our webpage, which you'll have to go over there to find out what we picked for those.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun.
There's a lot of choices to be made this year, and it's great.
There is, and I like it too, because we do have similar tastes but different tastes. There were a lot of games that came through, and I think we've talked about it, like it's a way to showcase all those games.
You know what I really got to say though, that is totally nuts with everything going on here? 2019 was nuts for gaming. And 2020 is saying, hold my beer.
God, 2020... Wait, once we're done with Game of the Year, like we're gonna have some 2020 talks.
We're gonna have like a whole episode where we just discuss looking forward to the end of 2020 with all the nut stuff that's been announced.
Like, could it be better than 2013?
I think it may be better than 07 or 97.
Or it maybe could be could be better than 2017. I believe that's the year that we had like Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah. Well, Final Fantasy 7 is not out yet.
Why do you think I said 2020 said hold my beer?
Yeah. Okay. But like, what did we have in 2017? Horizon, Persona, Breath of the Wild,
Mario.
Oh God.
Yeah, because Mario was out in October.
We did have that. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If the games that are slated to come out in 2020 come out,
we're talking.
Get your wallets ready.
You better get a credit card.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Don't do that unless you really want to, because that's a very important financial decision.
So I guess let's get into the swing of things here, guys. Let's jump in. Topic of the show is, of course, Game of the Year Part 2. We got biggest impact, best score in music, and biggest fail. We're going to start with biggest impact.
All right.
Giving a brief description for you guys here. Biggest impact, what is that? That is are awarded to a thought-provoking game or / event with a profound meaning or message for the gaming industry. Basically, kind of biggest impact, we're looking at maybe choices that either a game or an event in a game or something of that other that kind of made some big splash, some big like potential change to the gaming landscape in 2019. As we've talked about before, Will and I will each pick 2 runners-up in no particular order and 1 winner for those categories we'll discuss. My coin is in the other room, so I'm not going to go get it. Okay.
Hey Siri, flip a coin. Call it.
Heads.
Tails.
All right. Done.
So does that mean you go first or I go?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, you go first. So
then we can alternate.
Biggest impact. Will.
So biggest impact. I'm gonna go ahead, throw my 2 down, flip to you, and then we can give our winners. Sound fair?
That's generally been like the flow of things. It's gone well so far.
I'm just making sure. Okay. Don't want to be like, oh yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's cool. We can do that too.
Look, I'm trying to not Murloc you to death.
Please, I don't want to be Murlocked. That's not fun.
Nobody likes being Murlocked.
Yeah.
Some people like being Murlocked.
I see what you did there.
They got Murky as a pet. That's all I'm saying.
I see what you did there.
So, anything. going on. I actually want to give a nod to Concrete Genie. I think it had a really good message.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't think it was going to go there, did you?
I did. I don't know anything. That's the fun part about this. We do not know.
We've hidden our list from each other.
So I have no idea what he's going to say. He has no idea what I'm going to pull out of my butt here.
So I got to give Concrete Genie a nod, just because the whole anti-bullying thing, throwing that into a game that kids may be able to play, is a really good way to get a story out. Kind of like how impactful the story of Life is Strange, and it shows you that kind of thing.
Oh man,
I feel like that from everything I've seen. I haven't played the game. I've seen videos of the gameplay. I've seen trailers. I've seen a bunch of other stuff, and I really like what they're pushing. And that is why I want to give it a nod, because it is one of those where, look, being a kid can be tough. And having the higher powers in the gaming sphere saying, "Hey, all that crap over there, that's not cool. Like, you should be helping each other and supporting each other, not beating each other down just because."
Yeah.
Like, yes, no, keep that up. Keep the positive trend going, because you can help lift so many kids with that. That's why I'm going to give that one.
True. Like, man, that's a good pick. Concrete Genie, I'm actually... People watching video, I'm buying the game right now because it has been a game that I've wanted to play.
I just haven't had the ability to pick it up yet. It is something I am going to do, but I made a purchase for Rocket Punch first before I bought the game. I do intend to buy it, but I've seen Twitch videos of it. I've seen YouTube of it. I've seen the trailers. I really respect that game, and I respect the message they're pushing, and that's why I'm putting that there.
Okay.
So, number two. I'm going to go with Mixer, signing and poaching streamers off of the Twitch platform.
Real? Oh, okay. I'm liking these. These are cool picks. Okay.
Oh, you're going to love my winner, but we'll get that later. The reason why I'm saying this is Microsoft is serious about their streaming platform, and they're willing to put millions on the table to do it. They pulled Ninja over, and they're not locking Ninja into Fortnite streams. They're letting them essentially, hey, yo, just play games. You're on our platform. Go.
I'm sure
it felt like Ninja was always stuck like as the Fortnite guy.
Twitch was like, keep streaming Fortnite. That's what's drawing people in. Epic was probably like, keep streaming Fortnite. That's what's drawing people in.
Yeah, and it's cool. It made them a lot of money, but also at the same time, I like the fact that Microsoft's willing to bust out the checkbook and say, no, we're serious about this. Mm-hmm. And we're not going to stop. And they've pulled Shroud. They've pulled other people over as well. Gofalion came over. So
yes, he did.
He's a big Destiny guy.
Downloading the PS4 now.
Cool. So there's a lot of really cool stuff going on there. But because that started, somebody left Twitch and went to YouTube streaming. Somebody left Twitch and went to Facebook streaming. And because they started this, they've started the fight now over content creators. And that's awesome, because that means that they're willing to bankroll more people and push them into a higher position on their platform to say, hey, look, these are the kind of people we want over here. We want these people who are going to be positive in X, Y, Z. Also, I'm going to be straight honest. I think even though we're on Twitch, I honestly believe that the community guidelines and standards over at Mixer are enforced in a much better and more transparent way. And I think Twitch could take a page out of their book and just be 100% honest about it, instead of having these boogeymen in the background, banning some people for literally clipping something from someone else's channel and calling that person out about it, but not banning the person who actually had the offending footage. That's happened multiple times.
That doesn't make sense.
Oh, no, it doesn't. And I love the fact that it's going to make Twitch have to work to maintain their base.
We've talked about it. We continue to talk about it on the show all the time. Like, competition breeds rewards for us.
Why do you think it's so important to have Chevy fighting Ford, as well as Nissan fighting Ford, as well as Chrysler fighting Ford, as well as any European brand or any of these others? Because it's going to make them hungry. Because now they have to fight for your dollars. It's not just like, oh, well, we can charge you $100,000 for an F-150 because we don't have anybody fighting us. Really, because you got GMC and Chevy over there. You've got Nissan. You've got Toyota. Like, all these companies are fighting each other for your money, which is going to help drive things down, but also add features and value. Now, does that mean everything's going to be cheap? No. Some things are going to be expensive because manufacturing takes money and time. Does that always mean that everything will always be better? No, but it does give you options and choice, which is the key. And that's really what you should be after as a consumer for content creation. How many people out there talk about video games? lots of people. The fact that you're here listening to Rocket Punch means that we've offered something that you may like, or we're new and we're a different take. And we thank you for that. But at the same time, that makes us have to work and try to look at the way we approach things just the way as it should make any content creator approach and try things different ways. And if it doesn't work, adjust and adapt. And that's what these big corporations need to do. It's easy for Cam and I to adjust things because there's two of us. We don't have a monolithic corporation for, well, we got to do this and we're doing this. And
Well, not yet. We're working. We got plans in the works, okay?
But when you make these mega corporations like Microsoft and Amazon fight, that's good for us. Because things like that, like 100%, because Microsoft got their butts kicked at the end of the Xbox 360 generation coming into Xbox One, that's the reason why we have Game Pass. That's the reason why we have all these services. That's the reason why they were pushing for the Xbox One X instead of having the fat Xbox One that looked like a freaking VCR. I mean, legit. Like, this is why good things have been happening lately. And when you make these people fight, we win. And that's why I give it an impact.
Yeah. Like, Mixer, you really have to think, like, with... Number one, bringing Ninja over was the start of like pulling a lot of people over.
Acquisitions and everything else.
Like the fact they can Ninja can play whatever he wants, but they can also use Ninja. You think about us going into 2020.
Well, think about it. Ninja started as a Halo streamer and a Halo tournament guy at esports. Like, all right, cool. He's not going to be a Twitch like Halo guy anymore, but he was big in the Halo community and never really left his roots behind. What's about to come out in 2020?
Halo Infinite. Like, but and not even just that. Think about Microsoft's game plan with the Xbox consoles going into 2020. Their first party lineups that are coming up, like Ninja, who has millions of followers, is a perfect platform on Mixer on their own platform to springboard. Hey, Ninja, we're going to give you early access to this game. Or guess what? When a console comes out, they'll be like, Ninja, we want you to be on there with Major Nelson talking about the Xbox Series X unboxing.
Yes, is he going to have disclaimers saying, hey, this is paid promotional materials? Yeah, guess what, though? Most streamers nowadays, if they have early access, it's paid promotional materials.
Yeah, and like we've got... That's expected. That's understood. We know that happens. You see it. As long as they're very clear about it, boom, it's not a problem. But I think that it's... having those people over and like people, I remember when Ninja announced it and we were looking over there and like a lot of people were like, oh, like Mixer's actually pretty nice. It's pretty cool. And this is right around the time when the whole Dr. Disrespect in the bathroom thing happened, and then people were getting banned for no reason.
And then the people that should have been banned have not been banned. Oh, and it gets better. When we were doing our whole E3 2019 watch party, Twitch and YouTube were crashing constantly on the network connection we were on, but Mixer ran just fine.
4K too.
Yeah, and I was streaming that over cellular because the Wi-Fi at the event location died. And it was not a problem. And I didn't burn my data up like crazy. It was great, and it looked good. So there's some cool stuff going on, guys. But it's literally one of those things where you have to look at all of this and say, all right, cool. This is making people work.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. We need more of this in the industry.
Choice is great. Like we've seen it with Steam.
I don't care what anybody says. Epic is making Steam work, and I like that.
Yes.
Whether you like the Epic Game Store or not, they're going to force Steam to be better for you if you like Steam. You don't have to buy stuff there. The fact that Epic is forcing Steam to do good for you is good. You don't have to hate them. It's like the Walmart Target debate, or Best Buy Circuit City. Although one of those
we don't even like when we talk about like looking at Twitch. Twitch has, and honestly, it still has a very large market. But all of a sudden, with the announcement of Ninja going over to Mixer, people checking Mixer out, all of a sudden, boom! Twitch has all these new features being rolled out. Completely overhauled the dashboard. Got the channel bits. Yeah, numbers and stuff that you can set up now that are built in instead of you having to use a third-party app.
Some of that stuff was already on Mixer, and now they're having a fight.
Like it's again, like it makes everything better, and I think like from the streaming platform, that's a really good pick. Like that was a really big shakeup this year.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Mixer's better than Twitch, and I'm not saying Twitch is better than Mixer. I'm saying that these moves made by Mixer are forcing everybody to work harder, which is why it's a big impact. You're up, my friend.
It's my turn. Okay, so my runners up. Let me make sure I pull up my notes up here. Biggest impact, right?
Yeah.
Okay, biggest impact. Man, I don't know which one I want to pick first. I'll pick the easy one first, and then I'll pick the other interesting one. Number one, biggest impact for me, Bungie leaving Activision.
Holy crap, what a change in the company. like literally night and day difference between being on the thumb of Activision, or under the thumb, excuse me, wrong phrase there, and then literally just it goes away, and all of a sudden, like, Luke's a real dude again, and like Deej is no longer being like, oh, can I say this? Can I not? No, he's just out there being Deej. Yep. It's like, yes, you let these guys be themselves again, and man, what a change!
I put this on here, and this is really just aimed at Destiny. Like, if you've listened to us on the podcast or videos or streams or whatever throughout the years, you know that we have fun with Destiny, but we have never been afraid to be really honest with ourselves when it came to Destiny.
We have
its high points and low points.
We have ranted about the bad things that have happened with Destiny over the years, but we've also praised them when they've done well.
And I think this announcement early this year came out of nowhere. Them coming out and saying, hey, we're leaving. We're no longer part of Activision. We're keeping the IP, because I think they probably learned from when they left Microsoft. And like we're retaining basically they paid out their whatever dues to keep the IP. They partnered with Tencent. That probably helped a lot to give them a little bit of funding.
Well, they got a big shot in the arm, but they're also making a mobile game for China on the side.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, Tencent's a Chinese company, and they want things for China for their money. Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah, don't be shocked. Like, a lot of gaming stuff you like probably has Tencent's fingerprints on it somewhere.
Actually, most things that's not funded by Microsoft is Tencent.
Yeah, surprise. But from as soon as they broke off from Activision, like you said, Will, it was a complete transformation. One of the big criticisms we always gave Bungie with Destiny and Destiny 2 was the lack of communication. I remember we had like one episode where we were like, it's been months. We don't know when the next expansion is. They haven't said a word. Like, what the hell's going on?
This was
game?
After the Iron Wolves.
Yeah, we had no idea. Like, what's next? What's on the roadmap?
Yeah, this was before Destiny 2, after Iron Wolves. It was literally just tumbleweeds, nothing.
And then them coming out just felt like a breath of fresh air. Like their first stream when they started talking about Destiny 2 Shadowkeep and some of the new features in that live stream, just how relaxed they were. All the devs were chilling, like, hey, let's play through the game. Let me show you guys some of the stuff we want to show and not show. The very nonchalant way when, like, as soon as the stream started, you saw them, like, it was Luke and Mark Noseworthy, like, and you have the backdrop. There's no, like, cover. It's just, like, the studio. And, like, hey, we're going to walk through here, and here's what we're kind of doing.
They were not afraid to be themselves anymore. And I think that speaks volumes, because when you can be transparent and be yourself, cool things can happen. And they were not afraid to be that anymore, because they didn't have the Activision corporate overlords, Bobby Kotick and them, sitting over there like, you making us another $1 billion?
Yeah.
No, it was just, all right, cool. We're going to figure the money out of the back end. We got some financing from Tencent. We're just going to go make a good game.
But, like, them breaking off a lot of the decisions that came into Destiny 2, the fact that there's a free-to-play mode now, the fact that we have a much more manageable battle pass type of seasons going on.
Now, instead of having to buy a $40 thing for me to say I missed 2 seasons and I want to play the new one with my friends, I don't have to pay the $20 for those 2 seasons I missed that I'm not going to get the benefit of. I just pay the $10 for the new one, and then if I keep playing, the $10 after.
And you're in. Like,
it's so much better. It's so pro-consumer. It doesn't feel like the same company.
All the communications and stuff that we get from Bungie now, the huge Luke Smith director's cut, man, those were so great to read. Like, I'll definitely say, like, in 2018, 2019, 2020, I really think that we as consumers in the gaming community, as we know, like, how long has gaming been around? Like 30, 40 years, and we've grown up with that. And
actually, if we go back to tabletop, hundreds, but...
video gaming.
All right. Late 60s.
It's like early 70s, something like that, when Pong popped out. Yeah, something.
Well, yeah, it was Tennis for Two, then Pong, then
It's about 40 years.
yeah. So it's been a while.
We had a lot of. I think we've grown a lot to where. I know I have personally, where like listening to these details and really getting to know the people behind the games instead of just knowing, oh man, I just want my game, but actually like seeing these documentaries and stuff like NoClip does and other outlets like that to and really give us a sense of what's going on behind the scenes, understanding more that a game isn't just like, yes, you see $60 price tag, but a lot more went into that game than $60. And that director's cut, I felt, was really the epitome of that. Like, you really gave people who read it the understanding of like, here's the decision we're making, here's why we're doing it, because XXX, and hey, we're still listening, but from what we've seen from playtests and stuff, we think this is going to be the best way because we've heard some of your feedback, we've seen some of the feedback that we have personally. This is the route we're going to go. And it was so great to see that from Bungie, and really felt like we haven't had that at all from Bungie at any point in time since Destiny's been out.
No, there was a long time we called them Bungle as a joke.
Yeah. It's just, it's been really great, and I think not only did Bungie leaving Activision help Destiny become the great game that it is now, that invites a whole lot more players, and I think it's set records for concurrence since it's on Steam now, but also I think it was a great lens for other game developers to kind of look at and see, okay, I see what the gamers are like. Maybe I don't need to be
under a AAA publisher.
I don't need to be under a AAA publisher. Maybe I need to be more transparent about what's going on, good or bad. Even if it's bad, even if there's bad stuff, usually the average gamer, hardcore gamer, if you're upfront with them and tell them why, yeah, it sucks, we're really sorry, but here's why we're doing this, people understand.
And especially if you can show them the why behind it. And I don't know, there's this idea out there, and I just saw the book on your thing, and I'm like, yes, because
which one?
The Start With Why. Yeah, man, what a novel idea to approach things. If you explain why you're doing it before you do it, man, people are less likely to hate you.
Yes.
It's like,
people understand.
If you can explain it, it makes sense. All right, cool, man. I get it. I don't like it, but I can at least respect your thought process. Yeah. It's like, oh, man, wait, you're telling me people can be logical human beings if you tell them your logic path?
Yeah.
I know. That's dangerous.
That is one.
All right.
Okay. My second runner-up, or my other runner-ups, no particular order, is Apple Arcade.
Really? I did not expect this.
Apple Arcade was my other biggest impact.
I'm over here sitting and I know why.
Yes, you know why. Xbox Game Pass, we will continue to preach it on the show. It is the best deal in gaming, period. Like, full stop. You got a console, you're low on funds, can you afford $5, $10, $15 a month? Get Game Pass. So many great games on there.
If you're on console, it's 253 games and counting.
Oh, it's very huge.
Just gonna go ahead and throw that out there.
But going through and thinking about biggest impact, I think Apple Arcade is to the mobile gaming realm what Xbox Game Pass has been for the console realm. Okay. And we talked about Game Pass last year, so I could put that back on here again. But Apple Arcade was... It honestly, like, I'm not going to say I was like in complete hype mode for it, but it was a very interesting idea. 100 games on a mobile device that... one monthly fee, $5 a year or $5 a month? $5 a month. $5 a month, and you have complete access to these games. They're not allowed to have loot boxes. They're not allowed to have microtransactions of any kind. They are straight up like the full gaming experience, and I think that in the world we've lived in before then, where we have these really cool... Finding a really great mobile game was so hard to do because you had to dig through the filth of microtransactions and timed like oh, you have to wait 30 minutes before you can play this game again because your hearts have to refill or some bullshit like that. Like, getting into a game and saying, I just want to play the game. I don't have to muss and fuss about, like, hey, how much does this cost? I can go into Apple Arcade, find the game. This looks interesting. Download. Boom. It's downloading on my phone. I jump in. I play it. I don't have to worry about ads. I don't have to worry about microtransactions or pop-ups or anything popping up. I can just play and enjoy the game. And that is, for the mobile space, that is so huge that Android's working, either they've released it or working to try and have a similar thing on their platforms.
Cool.
And I will say that because of Apple Arcade, I believe we've gotten some of the highest quality games we've ever gotten on mobile platforms.
Outside of Dokkan Battle, I would agree with you. I'm just messing with you.
But like we talked about one in part one, Grindstone, like of many games that are on there. I have 2 folders now filled with Apple Arcade games. And it's just labeled arcade.
You know what's crazy? Overland is in there.
Oh my god, Overland. So good.
Yeah. Oh man, there's actually some legitimately good games in there.
Yes.
If you have an iPhone, you should try it out.
Yes.
They give you a month for free.
And it's, what's even better, it's not even limited to iPhone. And I think that, granted, I think Apple has some...
They have it on the Apple TV for certain games as well as iPads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, you can use your Xbox or PlayStation controller with it.
With Apple TV. So
no, not just Apple TV, your phone.
What was the... Oh, that's cool. What was the game?
You didn't know about that?
I did not know about that.
I have an Xbox controller in my backpack because of that.
The what was the game? Oceanhorn 2.
It's on there.
Borderline. I'm gonna use air quotes here. Console quality game. I'm being very loose, fast and loose with the term here. On a mobile device, and you could play it on your phone. Then it syncs up in the cloud, and then you go to your Apple TV, you pair up your Xbox controller, and boom, you can play it right on the TV.
Or if you're going to be on a plane and you got an iPad, oh man, pair the iPad to it and play it.
And it's really, like I said, very strong correlations between them and what Microsoft's trying to do with Xbox and Game Pass and xCloud and all that stuff. Like, it's all coming together, but this is for the mobile space, and
it's really cool.
I know we like to joke and jest about the mobile gaming, but please understand that how you felt about Diablo, they were right on the stage. Everybody has a phone in their pocket. And even if you're listening now, there is probably a game, regardless of how crazy it is, that you have on your phone that you play when you're out and about, waiting on something or whatnot. And Apple Arcade makes it so easy and accessible just like to play those games, just like Xbox Game Pass makes it easy and accessible to try out console awesome great games that you may not have checked out beforehand. I think Apple Arcade does that for the mobile side too. Did they put that on Apple Arcade yet?
No, it will never be on Apple Arcade. You know why? Because there are pay to win mechanics.
Oh yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, no. I have 4 Dragon Stones. You will not get any more money until you give me free Dragon Stones.
But Apple Arcade is a big deal. Some people, you may not think about it immediately, but you have to understand, like, mobile gaming is technically bigger than console gaming from a numbers standpoint.
From a numbers standpoint, console gaming isn't even legal right now in China, but mobile gaming is. And they're the largest population-based country on this planet. And that is something that you will have to literally just take to the bank, man. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. Now, does that mean that we have to deal with crappy games? No. And I love what they're doing with this because it does push it back. And it says, no. Look, you can keep that filth over there in the free section, but look over here at what we've got. Heck, man, can I take a moment? Since we're talking mobile gaming? I have a big bone to pick with Nintendo right now. Why, in God's green earth, would you put Mario behind a paywall in a game called Mario Kart on the phone? This is so ridiculous. And the crazy thing is their monthly subscription fee is the same as Apple Game Pass. Not Game Pass.
Yes, the crossover is happening.
Apple Arcade. Excuse me. I'm sorry. We were talking Game Pass, and I have the webpage pulled up.
This is great.
But you know what I mean.
Yes, we do what you mean.
So it's just like, why would I spend money on one game that doesn't even have fully fledged multiplayer in it yet? That's $5 a month from Nintendo of all people, who should be focused on making quality games instead of cash grabs, and then go over here to these little indie studios who signed up with Apple, and they're getting some money out of this. And oh man, we get games like Grindstone, who some could say it's mindless, but also the music in this game is great if you throw in some headphones. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my god.
You need to play it with your headphones if you haven't.
I have not.
It's even better.
What's funny is that there are a lot of games that are on consoles that I played first on Apple Arcade. So like What the Golf, I talked about in part 1, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Grindstone, so many other games that are on
Square
console.
Enix has an Apple Arcade only game.
Which one? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's an Apple Arcade only. It's called Various Day Life.
I did not know that one. I don't like that one.
Yeah, Square Enix. They have an Apple Arcade only title. Nowhere else. Doki Doki Grooveworks and Square Enix.
Oh, snap. Oh, yeah, I remember this. I'm downloading this now.
Yeah, so, by the way, the language select screen. American English, thank you. And then it starts talking to you. No, I accidentally hit Australian English because I'm a child. American English.
Oi!
Look, I don't need to go, oi! What you doing, mate?
Crikey!
Look, this is not Bush World Adventures.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Or Rick and Morty Bushland Adventures. I did some science on my portal gun and now it's a real gun.
Morty. Going to Bendigo.
To make the cube. Alright, no. Yeah, so there is a Square Enix only game. Cameron's favorite studio in the world because, Final Fantasy VII.
They gave me Final Fantasy, so.
Look, there's plenty of good Final Fantasies. I can tell you which one's the best one. He can tell you which one he thinks is the best one.
Oh, man. Don't.
We can fight on that till we die.
We will.
But we can both agree that Final Fantasy is great.
Yes, we can agree on that.
So.
But Apple Arcade, that is my second biggest impact. Runner-up. Not as... It was close, but not my winner. But I digress.
Yeah.
It is time, Will. Your winner. Who are you picking? Biggest impact winner for you.
So this came out in 2019, even though the initial service came out in 2018. I'm talking about Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Okay.
Here's why. They said, okay, cool. We've got these two services. It's $20 a month. You can pay for
Game
both.
Pass Ultimate did get introduced this year.
Yeah, so the idea behind it is I can have my Xbox Live Gold, I can have my Game Pass together, and I can also have Game Pass on PC, which was an additional $5. So literally, they took those three services, just bundled it, called it Ultimate, charged $15 instead of $25, and moved on. Here's the thing. This right here means that with everything going on, how many games did we play on Ultimate this year that we did not have to buy, but we streamed?
All of them. Like any
big AAA game that
Gears.
came out from Microsoft. So when we were streaming Gears, when we were going through that boss fight, we didn't pay for that game. It was on Game Pass. When I'm playing the Outer Worlds,
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
That's what I'm playing. I'm playing it on Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah. How I'm going to play Untitled Goose Game.
Game Pass.
Like, why am I going to spend all this money on all these games when I can have this one subscription that has all these games on it? The developers are still getting paid. Microsoft somehow has done the math and they figured out that even though people are on Game Pass, they're still buying more games because they're trying games they never would have tried before. I'm going to have to agree with them because I did not plan on buying Star Wars initially.
Star Wars
Jedi Fallen Order.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had not planned on buying it because it was Souls-like.
Okay.
And I'm not a big fan of Souls-like games. But I've played other games on Game Pass, and I was like, you know what? I got some extra coin. I'll try it out. Picked up the game, and I'm like, man, this game's great. But, if I hadn't had the extra coin because I had been playing games, on here, I mean, legitimately, like, all right, hang on. The Witcher 3's on here now. Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition is on there. All right, let's see. Hang on. So, Alien Isolation's on here. That'll be interesting. I think Cameron remembers that game.
What does
Can he see you under the bed? That's one of my favorite clips ever. I'm never gonna let that go. For all the kids out there, Minecraft is on it. Halo Master Chief Collection is on there. Like all the Halos, all the Gears. They're all on
Is it 11 or 10?
10.
Doesn't matter. It's still good.
Yeah, it's a great game. Rage 2's on there now. Fallout 4's on there. The only good currently available Fallout game on modern console.
Ooh.
Well, if you guys want to play... Oh, by the way, yeah, Doom.
2016.
No, that's
No,
not
it's
2016. That's the $5.99 one. Metro Exodus, though?
Is it on there? That's how I played Metro Exodus when we streamed it earlier this year.
Sniper
It's on
Elite
Game
4?
Pass. Oh, really? Is that on Game Pass?
That's what it looks like.
Snap. Is console?
Yeah.
Like, when I got... Piggybacking off what you're talking about, like, I just got an Xbox One X because GameStop had a killer deal, and I was able to trade it in and get it on the super cheap. One of the first things I did, I didn't go open up my old game cases. I went straight to Game Pass, and I'm like, Untitled Goose Game, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Remnant from the Shadows, like all these games that I wanted to play and try out.
But here's the thing: you got Ori, you've got all these games, and they have a bunch of 360 games on there too. And all the old retro games that are available on here from older Xbox platforms play on the Xbox One, and they will play on the Series X, or I think they've rebadged it now to just the Xbox. Like, look, just call it the new Xbox. It doesn't matter. If you're into PUBG, that's on there. If you're into Monster Hunter
World is on there.
That's on there. Yep. Batman Arkham Knight's on there.
That's cool. Don't care what anybody says. The console version was good. Don't get the PC version.
Yeah, the PC version will literally melt anything you put it in.
Yeah.
State of Decay 2. Like, dude, there's so many good games here. And, I gotta say, I've been able to play more games this year than, like, actually be able to play these games and not worry about where am I going to figure out to get the money to play them, because so many of these are $60 releases.
Are you mad that Redbox took their games off the platforms? Get Xbox Game Pass.
Well, no, not even that. Like, I legitimately play games I never would have bought. Like Void Bastards, I was never going to buy that game. I played it and I had fun with it.
I have that. I downloaded that. I really want to play that.
It's an interesting, like, roguelike space game.
Yeah, I really want to play that.
I never would. It doesn't appeal to me at all, but I'm having fun with it. But things like that. It's a game I never would have picked up because it's roguelike. And it's awesome.
It's great.
So that is why it's my winner. Because I've actually played games I would have never purchased. And those developers are still getting a cut of the money.
Yeah. Okay. Good winner. Good pick. Ultimate was really good.
Yeah. Also, the fact that I'm not having to pay money for Xbox Live and that now. So,
I mean,
it's me being kind of cheap, but...
You are, but you save like $5.
Yeah.
Okay. My number one. Okay. Biggest impact. As soon as I say it, all people will understand why this is my biggest impact and why it is a veritable force to be reckoned with. Years ago, I made this proclamation. And I told it, until a game does this, that is when the dominoes will fall. You know exactly. So you already know.
I already know.
My number one pick for biggest impact is Activision putting crossplay in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have this Activision ID, but I mean, if you want to have crossplay on things, you got to have an ID from somewhere.
Even then, like, there has to be a central thing. You can't do it per platform because they freaking got the wall set up. But the fact that I said on this show, on the podcast, that crossplay is great, and it was picking up steam last year, it's picking up steam this year. I think this year PlayStation finally pulled it out of beta, and hey,
it is finally out of beta. You know what? I can't wait when it's on Destiny, and they just merge the Xbox and PlayStation pool.
Yes.
Oh man.
And PC.
Yeah. The only one that's not going to get merged is Stadia.
Womp womp. But I was saying, like, it's cool and I love it. I'm not knocking crossplay at all on the smaller games like Rocket League and other things like that. But I'm like, when it's really going to have weight
is when the big AAA publishers put it.
Yes, and when at E3 2019, when Activision came out and said the new Call of Duty is Modern Warfare, we're doing a remake or reimagining, it will be in the way they nonchalantly, like, as other reporters and stuff talked about it, like, yeah, we were in this press conference thing, and like the very nonchalant way they're like, yes, our game will be full crossplay with Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. We've got some other great features with audio and whatnot. And everybody was like, whoa, wait a second, step back here. What do you mean by crossplay? Like, this is no holds barred, no strings attached. You set up your Activision ID. You can play with Xbox, PC, PS4, keyboard and mice, controllers, however you want to do it, however you want to play it. It is there. And I think the reason this is my biggest impact is because of the ripple effects I believe that announcement had, not only for the rest of this year, and seeing, like, us starting to ask those questions, like, when are these games going to get crossplay? When is Destiny 2 going to get crossplay? And they're like, we're working on it. But also, going into the next generation, crossplay is going to be a standard.
I cannot wait to be able to be like, oh, Cam, you're on PlayStation, on Destiny. I'm on Xbox. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Or, oh man, we're both on our PCs, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to the living room. All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah, like in the fact, and we've seen it in bits and pieces here when we played Gears 5. I could be on my computer, you could be on your Xbox One X. Boom, we still playing together.
Yeah.
The fact that going into 2020, well, no, the fact that Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I'm not even gonna put the tag arguably. As probably aside from Grand Theft Auto, it is the biggest gaming franchise
outside of Grand Theft Auto. It is the biggest
in the world. Period. Mic drop.
And it was the biggest until GTA 5.
Yes, and
I can't believe it's still in top 10 NPD.
The fact that they came out and said that with one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world, and people were like, "Ooh, how is this going to affect sales?" It still was the best-selling Call of Duty this generation. I think it was like $600 million in the first week, sales-wise. I think it's already breached over $1 billion worldwide in sales. Like, this is huge. It was a big, big freaking deal, and I think that is what sets the groundwork for games. Don't be shocked to hear all the games that we're going to be excited to play next year that are multi-platform. Them talking about either them saying that, hey, this is going to be crossplay, or it's coming soon, or people asking about, is it crossplay? Like,
yep. And so the reason why I say GTA 5 is still bigger is it's actually the most profitable entertainment product, period. It's sold 90 million copies. It's at $6 billion in revenue.
It's over $1 million, isn't it?
No. This is as of last year. It was over 90 million then in 2018.
It's over 100 million now.
No, I know, but then it was at $6 billion in revenue for one game.
That's crazy. That's why they can take 10 years to make a game.
Yes, they've got cash flow, not a problem. Like,
as long as you want, I don't care.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're bigger than Call of Duty. But guess who's number 2? Call of Duty.
Yes, and like it should not be understated how big a deal Activision coming out and saying it's crossplay,
especially when they are typically the money grubbing, greedy person out there.
Yes,
they're usually the most hated for things like that, because what they do in the beginning of the year of 2019. Oh wait, they made Blizzard lay off 800 plus people because financials.
Even though it was the best quarter ever.
Yeah. So there's weird stuff like that. But yet they're still making these decisions. I don't know. Activision's weird, guys.
They are weird.
And the fact that they made this big pro-consumer move is very unusual. And be thankful that it's happened, because it's going to force other people. It's going to force EA to do this. All right? That's huge.
Yeah.
That's going to make Battlefront and Battlefield eventually have to do that.
Cross-play and the single-player campaign were really the two things that made me buy it day one. And I never buy Call of Duties on day one.
I bought it purely for the single-player campaign. I don't multiplayer Call of Duty. That's what Destiny's for.
There you go. But my opinion is it was a big deal. It should not be understated how this is going to affect next year and next gen with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and all those other systems coming out. that is why it is my number one for biggest impact. The ripple effects on that are far and wide.
Yeah, the ripple effects on everything we brought up are going to be interesting.
100%. Yeah, they really are. They really are.
Ooh, man.
That was the biggest impact. So let's do the review here. Biggest impact. Will, your runners up and winner.
Concrete Genie and Mixer signing Twitch streamers and the whole streamer content creator war that's happening are my runners up. Winner is Xbox Game Pass Ultimate because of what it's going to do to the gaming industry. As Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, has called it, it's literally Netflix for games.
Yep. I was in a GameStop, and that's basically how they described it to a consumer.
Well, no, that's how Satya Nadella, that's how Phil Spencer in an interview described Satya Nadella, his envisioning of it is Netflix for games. And you know what? If you can get that branding now before everybody else, even though Sony has had a game streaming service already.
It wasn't that great to start out, though.
No, it wasn't. But the point is, Sony beat them first to market, but they've beat them on the branding war and on the services side.
That's why sometimes doesn't matter if you're first.
It matters if you do it right.
Yep. And biggest impact, my runners up were Apple Arcade and Bungie leaving Activision, and the Call of Duty with crossplay was my winner. So,
man, could you imagine if BioWare left EA?
EA wouldn't do that. They make too much money from them.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, could you imagine what would happen?
I don't know what would happen. I really don't.
That'd be like saying if Respawn left EA at this point.
Yeah, no. EA is firmly like, no, you stay with us.
You make us money now.
Um,
you made us a good shooter that was free. What?
what?